Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 69 of my year of solo board gaming, which many people have described as ill advised and stupid, and stop that. Um, we are in the middle of Adapt and Die Week, Adapt or Die Week, not Adapt and Die, Adapt or Die Week, and we are playing board games that involve, in some way, an adaptation of an existing work. So, for example, we've been doing a lot of we did Princess Bride for one day. We did two Choose Your Own Adventures. Sorry, we did Black Sonata. We did one other thing, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that's five, and now we're going to be doing a sixth one, and that is going to be Legendary Marvel specifically. Now, for those of you who don't know, have not played this game, it's what came before Marvel Champions that had everybody excited. Essentially, this is a legendary system put out by, I think, Top Deck, is it? Upper Deck, sorry, Upper Deck. And it's a deck building game and allows you to play as different heroes. You are improving your deck as you go along. And what's great about the legendary system is that you can actually incorporate other systems, other legendary games like Aliens and X Files and James Bond and hockey into it, and somehow it still works. The basic premise of this is that there is a scheme going on. The scheme in this case is unleash the power of the cosmic cube, which you can see there. I think maybe you can see that. And it tells you what to do with some things. Basically, there are scheme twists in here. We are going up against Loki, who will take 10 to fight. We'll have to defeat him 4 times to defeat him. We have our starting deck, which are basically just simply some troopers and agents that allow you some basic functions. We got our wounds and bystanders over here. We've already got our villain deck and hero deck shuffled up, and you'll see who we're playing as in just a moment. I did try a version of this yesterday when I was really, really tired and did not think, and I chose 3 heroes that really were not a good combination because none of them were powerhouses. None of them really had a whole lot of strength, so I decided to try again. We had Hawkeye, Spider-Woman, and Moon Knight. I don't have a lot of expansions to this, but I do have 2 of them, Marvel Knights and the Carnage one. So it's kind of nice. I thought about getting some more, like getting one specifically for today and adding that to here, but I thought, you know what, I spent enough money as it is. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to deal out a deck of 6 cards. I'm going to move back just slightly so you can see them here. And you'll sort of know whatever is going to be in your second 6 based on what's on here. So for example, in this case, we're going to have 5. Each of these cards has a star symbol and or an attack symbol down here. And these cards tell you how many recruit points and attack points you are generating this particular turn. You can use your attack points to, of course, attack villains and fight them. The villains will come out here in the sewers and will work their way this way, with some other things coming up, and you'll see those in a bit. We're going to go ahead and set up the HQ here, however. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the important thing to know, and that is not well shuffled, so we're going to give that another shuffle, because I want to make sure this is nicely shuffled. We shouldn't have 4 Hulks right at the beginning. So, when you're setting up solo, the big differences are you are doing 1 mastermind, you're doing 1 villain group, and it does not have to be the group listed under always leads. So usually if you're playing this multiplayer and Loki is the mastermind, one of the villain groups will be the enemies of Asgard. And in this case, we are basically not doing that. We have a different group in there. You'll see them in a bit. In addition, you also have 3 cards from a henchman group. Normally there's 8 cards in the henchman group. In this case, we only have 3 of them. You also only do 1 master strike instead of the usual 5. And you only include 1 bystander, and you include the normal amount of scheme strikes, or scheme twists, whatever they're called. And you are looking to do basically it's a beat your own score sort of thing, which I know is not the best way to go. There are rankings, I should say that. There are rankings for how you do. So if you end up, let's see, where is the score? That is a good question. I don't know where the scoring is. There is a. I thought there was a scoring in here somewhere. Yeah, basically it's a beat your own score. Just basically, see how well you can do with different scenarios and different masterminds. All right, so that should be better shuffled. So let's go ahead and deal these out again. Some of the same ones, but now we got a couple Moon Knights in there. All right, and we got Hulk Smash. That's going to be a tough one to deal with. We're going to have 5 recruit points right away, though, so that'll be a plus. All right, so we're going to start off with the first thing, and Bystander is the first thing that comes up. So the Bystander normally goes under whatever villain is first on the right. Since there's no villain here, the Bystander will go underneath the Mastermind and sit there. Now, we can't really use our attack card for anything, so we're just going to discard that. And then we're going to use our remaining 5 recruit points. We can do 2 things here. We could go with Hulk, which I think is probably what we're going to do. We could also take one of these, this Moon Knight one for 3, and then draw another card and see what we get. The problem is if it's not a 2-point card, we're not going to be able to use the full thing of our points, and we're only going to have 3 recruit points in the next turn. So we're going to go ahead and take the Hulk. That goes into the discard, and we get a new card, and there we go. So now we're going to deal ourselves at the end of the turn 6 more cards, and then we start round 2. Round 2, another villain comes out. This time it's Abomination. There's no ambush effect. You always check to see if there's an ambush effect on the card to see if anything happens. In this case, fight. If you fight Abomination on the streets or bridge, rescue 3 bystanders. Streets and bridge are over here. The Abomination won't get that far for a while. But we do have 3 attack, which is not enough, unfortunately, to do anything about the Abomination. So we're going to just go ahead and discard those. We do have 3 recruit points, and so we can take either of these. Doesn't really matter which one. We'll go ahead and take that. All right, and Spider-Woman comes out. All right, so now we need 6 more cards. We don't have any cards left, so we're going to shuffle. Now, there are some shield officers that are always available. You can use those. If you can't use it to pick up any of the heroes, you can get one of these for 3, and that will give you some extra recruiting points later on. There is a way to get cards out of the deck, and that is the KO. You can KO cards out of your hand, and there are various rules regarding that. So let's go ahead and deal 6 more cards. Okay, another villain comes out. This time it is still the Abomination, and he is also for 5. So we have an attack that we can actually do. We're going to have a total of 7 attack and 3 recruit. I think what I'm going to do, because it's still early on in the game, I actually kind of want this recruit one more than I want anything else. And believe it or not, I'm still not going to attack either of those guys. I kind of want to get one of them onto the rooftops and to deal with this lunar community thing. So we're going to use this to take 2. And I know we're being really, really foolish here. We replace this with another one. So now we deal 6 more cards out. It's always important to deal the 6 cards, then move on to the next turn. So we're going to have, basically it's a starting hand. It's 3 and 3. All right, so the villain comes out. Ambush, play the top card of the villain deck. Villain deck, it's a Scheme Twist. Now, we don't do anything with the Scheme Twist for 1 through 4. However, in the solo rules, you still KO a hero down here for 6 or less. And I'm thinking that we're going to get rid of this this wall crawl one. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this one, I think. So that is now KO'd. We'll go ahead and replace it. And now we can do stuff. We still can't do anything about what's up here because I've only got 3 attack points. So I will focus solely on recruiting. I will recruit this one, which will give me some extra recruit points on the next turn. We go ahead and replace that. There we go. We're going to get 2 cards, and since we don't have enough to fulfill our hand, anytime that you need to draw a card and you can't, you just take the discard, you shuffle them up. A lot of shuffling in this game. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so now we start the next turn. We're going to get Zax. To fight them, we must reveal a strength hero, which in this case could be this, or gain a wound. So now we've got 7 here, and we've got some stuff that will actually help us. So we could go and fight this one here. We could also fight this one here. Now we are going to fight this character, which means we get to claim them. We'll put this over here for our victory pile. We defeated them on the streets, and according to this, we get to rescue 3 bystanders. So we'll go ahead and add these 3. These 3 bystanders will basically add some points to our total. So that's the discard, and there's nothing else I can really do with this. I can't do anything with the 2 on its own. We do gain a wound, however. So that will go into the discard. We still have 3 recruit points left over. None of these are worth 3 recruit points, so we're going to have to simply take this if we want to do anything with them. It's not a bad idea. Simply because it gives you some extra recruit points, and we'll draw some cards. Okay, we got a lot of recruit points this time around. We have a Master Strike. Each player reveals a green hero or gains a wound. Fortunately, we have a green hero, so the Master Strike is ignored. Neener, neener, neener. And these folks don't advance on a Master Strike. It's only if it's a villain or henchman that comes out, then you slide everybody along. And this time around, we're going to have a whole bunch of recruit points and almost nothing for attack. So the 2 attack we'll go ahead and put away. We're going to get 1, 3, 2, 1. We've got 7 recruit points. Now, Spider-Woman will recruit a hero for free, which is kind of nice, but I kind of feel like I want to do something else. We could wall crawl, which is basically, it allows you to draw an additional card, and if it's an attack card, it will allow you to then draw it. I think I want to take this because then I can also take this. I can use this for the full 7. But to play this card, I must put a card from my hand on top of your deck. So I will go ahead and put this back on here because I think it's helpful to have those as recruit points. We could also go with this one instead. That should give, it's got the little plus bonus there, which unfortunately we haven't really hooked up with yet. Now, honestly, what I should have done is actually taken the 4 and then drawn, because I could have gotten that instead, which would have been helpful. So we're going to get 5 cards. We need a 6th one. And it's, ugh. So we're going to have 7 recruit points. Scheme Twist. So we ignore that, and then we have to knock out a hero down here, and we're going to knock this one out, I think. We're going to have a total of 7 recruit points in 1 attack. We can't do anything with the attack. So we'll take all the accrued points, and we'll go ahead and simply put this one back on here so we have some attack on the next round, and we'll get 7 recruits. We'll take the 5. We'll go ahead and replace that card, and we'll get a 2. There we go. So now we're going to draw a bunch more cards. Oh my lord, this is getting nasty. And we get a Scheme Twist. So we're up to 3 at this point. There's 8 in this deck, and once we get to the 8th one, that's it. We are going to get rid of this one, I think. So we can't do anything with the wound. We've got 5 recruit points total. And we will go ahead and take this one so we can actually start getting some stuff out of our hands. And that's all we can really do. We had 1 recruit point left over. Nothing we can really do with that. So now we're going to draw 5 more. Or 6 more cards, sorry. And we're going to move this along. So we get a henchman. All right. So now we actually can do some stuff. So we're going to set aside the recruits for the moment. We've got a total of 9. Is that correct? No, 4, 2. We've got a total of 8. So we can do two things. We're going to be able to. We're going to fight the abomination for 5. We'll go ahead and use that and that. It does mean that first of all, we fought the abomination on the streets, so we're going to gain 3 bystanders. We also do gain a wound, unfortunately. Those go over there. And then we're also going to use these 3, and we're going to defeat this Doombot Legion, which will go over here. And we have to look at the top 2 cards of our deck and pick one to discard. To KO, and we're going to keep the other. So this one goes back on top of the deck. This one's going to get KO'd. It is advantageous sometimes to start getting rid of cards like that in your hand, some of the starter cards. But this also does not last long enough to really get into a whole lot of that. We're going to take this Hulk card for 3. And there we go. So we'll draw these 2 cards. Do this. And now this first villain will go into the street, but we won't advance the other ones along. So that's kind of nice. We need to start taking out the mastermind at some point. All right, so let's look at what we got here. We got 2, 2. We do get the bonus on this, so this will be 7 total. And then this allows us to draw a card from the top of the deck, and if it has a slash token, draw it. Unfortunately, it does not. So we're going to have what? 5. We don't have any wounds in our discard, unfortunately. Have we actually? We have not actually drawn yet. Sorry. Zazax. All right, so we can't fight Zazax unless we want to get a wound. We could actually fight Zax. I'm not sure if the order of this would basically make it so that I could play these, get the wound, and then KO the wound. I think I'm just going to take out the leader. I'm not going to mess with that. So that's going to be all of those. We also still have 7 recruit points now. We'll go ahead and take this 3. And we'll take this 4 as well. We'll put those 2. And that's actually why you want to do the refresh. As soon as you take away the HQ card, you want to refresh it so you get something good. All right. We do really need to focus. Oh, good Lord. This is horrible. All right. Master comes in. Top card is a shield, and so we don't draw it. We're going to have 4 recruit points and 3 attack. The 3 attack doesn't do anything. The 4 attack could draw a card. We could, if we wanted to, we could actually KO this wound. If we chose not to fight a villain and chose not to recruit a hero, we could KO this. I don't think that that's a smart idea. I think what we want to do is we want to take this 3 here, and that's all we'll do. So all of these go over here and draw another. We only had 1 recruit point left over, so it really wouldn't have done any good. All right. Villain, it's a scheme twist. We are up to 4, so we still don't do anything as far as wounds go, but we do have to get rid of one of these folks. We'll go ahead and get the radioactive Spider Woman, since that is not really that useful at this point, since we need to start attacking. For now, though, we will have 7, 8, and we'll have 4 to attack. Awesome. So not enough to attack, unfortunately. We do have 8 for the recruit. We will take Hulk Smash. To play this card, you must put a card from your hand on top of your deck. We'll put this back on top, and we will go ahead and put this back on top. And the rest of these go into the discard. All right, let's go a bunch more. This is looking bad. So they come out. We do have to start fighting some of these guys. We could fight this over here, and that would actually allow us to get rid of a wound out of here. So let's look at our attack first. Our attack is going to be 3, 1, 2. It's going to be 6 total, and our recruit total is 5. Looking over the recruits, I've got... Here, we'll take this one. And then we'll also fight... We have enough to fight the rooftop one. We'll take that. We have a strength hero, so we don't have to worry about the fight restriction there. We did defeat a villain on the rooftop. You may discard one of your cards or a card from your discard pile. So we will discard a wound. Actually, let's discard this. The wounds I can actually convert, I think, with one of the specific cards that we just drew. All right, so we're going to have 2 cards, and we're going to shuffle. And if we can attack Loki this round, we are going to attack Loki this round. Okay, so our total is going to be 9, which is not quite enough, unfortunately. However, I may reveal the top card of my deck. It does have an attack token, and it allows me to KO a wound from my hand, and if I do, get +2. This is enough to deal with Loki. So we're going to get a total of 4, 3, 4. So the 4, the 2, and the 4 combine to make 10. In addition, this makes 3. So we're going to use 10, and we're going to take one of these mastermind tactics. You shuffle them up. They all have 10 on them, so no matter what, you're always fighting a 10 Loki. Each other player KOs a villain from their victory pile. Doesn't really apply to us because we're playing solo, but we do get to take that token. Plus, we also get to take this Doombot because we have 3 attack left over, and that allows us to look at the next 2 cards. We're going to KO one and keep the other. So we're KOing that recruiting tool. And that's it for all the attack cards. We have 3 recruit left over. We'll go ahead and take this. We'll take that. It's kind of not that much stronger than the officer, but it does clear that out a little bit. And now, and I think I was supposed to gain a wound from that too. Yeah, each player gains a wound. So the last thing I need to do is add a wound to the discard pile. Okay. So now we're going to take 6 cards. Still, way too many recruiting tools. Not enough damaging things. So this is going to allow us 8 total. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take... Yeah, so we're going to first of all KO a wound from our discard pile. That will give us a total of 5. We're going to go ahead and defeat the axe up here. That will allow us to... now normally you have to reveal a green hero. We've revealed a green hero. We are going to recruit. We will recruit this 4. And that leaves us 4 more, so we'll go ahead and take that 4. And to play this card, you must put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Put that one back. And there we go. We really do need to start taking out the mastermind cards. So pretty much every time I can take out a mastermind card, that's the one to take out. Now, fortunately, as you can see, I'm starting to get like some really powerful card combos here. Master comes out. So, 5. We also have a green. I don't think the green can apply to itself, though, so we're not going to get the +1 here. We will get 10 total from that one card here. This will be 12. We may KO 2 more wounds, and we'll have that one as well. So let's see how many wounds we can take out here. We have no wounds in our deck. This is a horrible disaster. Nonetheless, we're going to get 10 for that, so we are going to take out one of Loki's mastermind tactics here. KO up to 4 cards from your discard pile. All right, and normally you can't KO wounds. You normally will say KO heroes. You do want to make it so that you are KOing I think that's right. It's a good recruit tool, but at this point we don't need recruits, we need attack. So the mastermind tactic is done. That was the one card that we used for that. Oh, that is a strength 1 as well, actually. That is a strength 1, so we will get the +1 for that. All right, so this goes away into the discard. We are still left with 3, 2, 2, 1, 8 more attack. I am inclined to let Mastro alone. We had one extra green one here. Actually, we'll go ahead and take out Mastro. We're going to take out Mastro, and for each one of our strength heroes, which is, there were 2 of them total, we have to KO one of our heroes. We're KOing these 2 dudes. Sorry, guys. And that's it for them. And that's our turn there. We are 2 away from defeating Loki. Now we get some wounds. And Scheme Twist. Now we are going to add a wound. And we KO a hero that is 6 or lower. I think we're going to go ahead and take this one, I think. Let's look at what else we have. We have a total of 5 to recruit. Plus we have 4 to attack. We may as well go ahead and... Yeah, we're going to use these ones first. We're going to use these ones first to get this Hulk over here. Plus, we have to put a card back. We're going to put this one back. We're now going to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, KO one of them, and put the other one back. It's Moon Knight and this agent. And that's it. We use these 2 to KO the Doombot, and that is our hand. 1, 2, 3. Let's shuffle this up again. The game does play pretty quickly. If I weren't doing so much narration, I could probably do one game in about 30 minutes. Which I feel like is a nice sweet spot for a game. So part of the problem is that I'm getting these now when I don't have a discard pile, which is frustrating. Oh, there we go. Wound. This is not pushing that along. We are at, how many are we at? 6. There's only 2 more left in there, and we only have 3 more cards, so we have to actually book it. We're going to go ahead and... Do we have another green? We don't have another green. This is a recruit only, but we do get to reveal the top card of the deck. It is not something that we can use. We're going to have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, plus 2 more. If we discard that wound, we'll make 13. Now we're going to go ahead and get rid of one of these 2 mastermind tactics. Now, defeat a villain in the city for free. Well, we'll go ahead and do that. And that's going to leave 1 more mastermind token for us. We did not need to get rid of the wound, and so I'm not going to get rid of the wound. We don't really have enough to We don't have enough to do another attack. We can recruit. We have 3 points from this. We'll go ahead and recruit it. I'm not sure it's really going to make any difference at this point. Probably not going to see another shuffle of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is good because I think we've got enough in here to knock out Loki. Scheme Twist. So we're going to gain 2 wounds. And again, this last card could be it. So we got to take out Loki now. So we're not going to worry about that. We do get 4, 1, 2, plus 1 because we have another strength hero. So that is 3 there. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. We can discard a wound if we want. We're going to gain a wound. We can discard it. We can KO it. And it's still enough to basically defeat Loki. For each other player, KO 2 bystanders. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna worry about that. But that is the last of the mastermind tactics. I think that's all we can do. Now we're gonna play one more round, because I want to see if we can actually do this. We have to. We have 7 cards, and there's supposed to be one more wound from that 7th twist. We have 2 more cards. Now, in the solo game, you can make it so that once you defeat the 4 mastermind tactics, that's it. The game is over. You can also do a final showdown. Obviously, if the problem here is that if we do a final showdown and that card comes up a scheme twist, game is over. So we wouldn't have been able to have that final showdown. We'll just make this like the extra, end credit sequence. Let's see if there's an end credit sequence, or yep, there's an end credit sequence. We're gonna have to fight Loki the next someday in the future. Ironically, had this been the next card, we still would have not been able to do that. And that's it. That is Marvel Legendary. There's a reason why it was so popular when it first came out. There's a reason why it's still popular now and why there's still stuff coming out for it. There are a lot of expansions for this. A lot of expansions. It's a fun little deck builder. It's not too complex. It's easy to understand. It's easy to make modular. I never really went all in on it, so my box... sorry, hit the mic there. So my box is looking pretty light here. But there's a lot of things that you can add to the game to this. I don't have Marvel Champions. I don't know if I'm going to get Marvel Champions. And I know Eric Lang did Marvel Ultimates, I think. I don't know if I'm going to get Marvel Ultimates. I don't know how many Marvel games I really need. But with that having been said, I'm still counting it as a win because I usually try to play on the, it's not the insane mode. It is just kind of a typical mode to just make it the 4 mastermind tactics. And with that having been said, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.